Hey guys, I'm going to do a response video regarding my teacher. And I really like the way Sarah and Marion Braun did the video. And I'm going to share my screen. Very nice job. Sarah did a real nice job. And Marion Braun also, they joined in. And I think I really like the way the video came out. Except for a few misconceptions. What I felt Sarah was trying to do in between was interject at some point that she was sexually molested, and which, in my personal opinion, if she had a problem, she should have like gone to the authorities and stuff. But anyway, I'm not here to dispute what they were discussing. But the only thing I wanted to point out is everybody is allowed to share, and that's own personal perspective. So this video is done mostly very nicely, I should say, like till 90% of the time, except for like few assumptions which Sarah makes in between trying to get her point across, and Marion has nothing to do with it, and she's like, stepping back. The other thing, like, a lot of name throwing Sarah is doing, which is fine, but it is like in international court, if in case she's sued, like, it's defamation of character. So you really want to be careful, like, not to like disclose name publicly. You can say only first name. And the other thing which I wanted to point out is, yes, Marion Braun was very correct in assuming, like, we didn't get a lot of guidance. I joined Nithyananda organization in 2016. Initially, I did make the initial, like, starting up mistakes. But I soon understood, like, the dynamics of culture. And so I kind of stepped back. But there is a lot of issues, and it is internal issues, not like like how Sarah's portraying it's brainwashing and stuff. And I do not stand by that statement, but there are a lot of internal restructuring issues that needs to be addressed. And just like India took a stance about 370 article being internal affairs, same way it is the internal affairs about a school system. And we, when we are not directly teachers, have no right to even comment about those things. And India has a very different perspective of Gurukul. And I'm so grateful Nithyananda is making his life mission to bring it back. And to help you guys understand, there is only 4 things. So you guys can watch this video later. That's the only thing. I felt like Sarah had like an underlying agenda. And but she did refrain from, like, really bad mouthing and stuff, which is really nice. Marion Braun, my heart went out to her when she said, her 16-year-old, she left by himself, and I could see the mother's pain, like, and I almost did that. And I'm so grateful that I understood afterwards. My husband put his foot down, so it was really nice. But I think understanding the Westerners' amount of responsibility we hold towards raising our kids, I don't think Indians comprehend. That's the major issue. I think Indians have no idea of the tremendous pressure we are under. And I think that's why I think Western devotees has to have a very different way of attending the conference. This is my personal opinion. And I also feel what Sarah is raising and Marion Braun is raising is like kind of like, I understand where it's coming from, but India is very different. So you cannot use your Western standard for Indian thing. One thing Nithyananda, Swami Nithyananda has done is already established as Gurukul. There was a huge victory for him. And there are 4 more things he says. It's each one is a sampradaye. So he's a Sarvanyapi sampradaya to establish the spiritual heritage of a space. That's where he's working at right now. And for him, there are only 5 priority projects. The first one is the Ganges River being given its own body and rights, which already has been established in India. The Narmada River also got its own body of rights. Now Yamuna got its body of rights. So three, but eventually Kaveri, which I think Sadhguru is doing, which Nithyananda is supporting. So that's like, fourth river that's coming into play. So I think he's achieved that first one, the rights for the river. The second thing is he says Tiruvannamalai, Annamalai as one of the sacred portal that you can get into other dimensions, which he already established. And I think which Marion Braun was disputing. And I feel we can only share what we experience, so we cannot question another person's experience. So out of respect, we don't want to comment on that. And then the third thing Swamiji mentioned was that another portal is the banyan tree in Bidadi, which I have personally experienced. I went into the space of Sita when I was there, and I fell in love with that energy. And there was such a pure devotional energy. So I started applying for my own temple, and with the guidance of, so I called Sri Nithyananda Premeshwara Sabarambham Nithyananda Sita Premeshwari Madhyamam Asvatacharya Parayantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So I'm doing Adi Ashrama for Sri, or rather Man Sita Premeshwari and Priyameshwari, not Premeshwari, Priyameshwari, because he says it's my love. So Mere Ram, Mere Ram, Mere Ram, Priyamvara Ram, Priyamvara Ram. That's what she sings, Priyamvara Ram. And he says, Sita, Meri Priya Tam Sita. So I decided to devote my whole life into Priyameshwar as Ram's extension. Priyameshwar is the love of Sita, and I want to see him as the love of Sita, and Sita Priyameshwari. And that's the temple I'm starting. And that's all fell into place because of Bidadi Adinam. And then the fourth one Soji wants to be involved in is the Meenakshi temple inside has like a sacred portal that connects to all other worlds. So that already Swamiji has established as his own land, because he purchased that with a lot of money, he said. And then the fifth one is not yet revealed, but I know it is to do with all of our hearts, and it's Anandagandha, and I think it is like a way for us all to communicate with him. And he already said, Sarah, if you see the staff he's holding right now, he's holding it right for you in front of him. And I think he's going to support you in whatever way or form you're going to present, because whoever you're integrated with, through them, he's going to come and bless you. He already revealed that. And so you already have a special place in his area. And Marion Braun, I think the lessons, just like you, I had to go through my own lessons to understand my responsibility so I could take care of myself. So I think what you are doing is a tremendous learning curve for others as well. So I am so grateful for your experience, and also to be very genuine and sharing. I really respect Marion Braun. And if I am in Nithyananda's shoe, I don't know what I would do. He has achieved for a man unimaginable feat. So I really have tremendous respect for him. But there is always structural issue in any organization. So I do not think it has to sit with him. It has to do with politics, like so many other issues. So I think personally, I would love to support him in whatever way, But financially, I think I need to take care of my responsibility first. So one of the things the previous saints, which Nithyananda represents, said was, don't ever beg and give your money to an organization. And I think that's what I want to reiterate. If you're in debt, if you're not taking care of yourself, please be very prudent about committing to some other organization. Same way, never delegate your parental obligation until they are 21. We are obligated to raise them. So these are the two things I learned by that video. But at the same time, I love Swamiji because he gave me so much insight into how to correct any mistakes in my own life, because these are blind spots. And one of the things I learned was just like how Marion Braun said, if it is any other organization, I would have done the same way. So I would rather learn from a teacher who's much more gentle in my life rather than learning from a corporate how not to betray my family. So I'm so grateful that you guys let me watch your video. And I feel like, let's just share without name calling and blaming another person. But Sarah, you're doing a tremendous work on trying to be neutral. And Marion Braun, I commend you for all the things you said. And I really loved your video. And just like how you guys said about Ashim, I love Ashim. And I attended Sadashiva Home with him. And Swamiji has tremendous love for him. And I don't think he was accused of drug trafficking. If it was gossiped by somebody else, that is not Swamiji's responsibility. So, but Swamiji is correct in that, like anybody who is being thrown under the bus by organization that is not even connected to them and coming after them is inappropriate. So if it is internal affairs, we can only take responsibility and fix it. And you cannot like really say, hey, he needs to take responsibility and this person commented about it and stuff. And yes, of course, we always fail. We are human and we are going to make amends. But that doesn't mean the organization is bad. So that being said, I really feel very blessed to have a wonderful teacher like that. And it's not a cult, it's a culture. And it's evolving into another level. And I'm so grateful the Gurukul is coming back because we can benefit from this type of teaching all over the world. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I love you all. And like Swamiji says, Anandama Irungal. And like Sita says, Mere Ram, my whole heart beats for my Ram, the longing I have for Ram. So he is my Priyameshwar, Priyameshwara. And I see that in Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.